Hello. So today we're going to be stringing Jack and Sally. And so it's all about the different layers as far as doing which color first. So if you look, these two are just completely separate. You can do whichever one you want first. I'm going to start with Jack just because he's a little easier as far as the layering. If you look closely, what I do is for him, you're going to just do all the white sections first. Okay? So we're not going to do the black. If you do, it'll look like the white is popping out of his shirt and like his neck is popping out. And that his face, obviously, you don't want to cover it up. So first we're going to do the white of his face and the white of here and the white hand. Okay? And then after that, we'll go through and do the black and the black and the black. And then that'll be Jack. And it's all the same steps for each set and each color. And it's like coloring once you figure out the steps of tie a knot, wrap and string all over in the middle, and then tie another knot. So that's basically all you're going to do for each color section. Okay? I like to start the knot in the air with my fingers. It's a little easier. So you're going to make your loop like that. And then holding on to each of the ends, you put it on over one thing, and then I hold it down with my finger and just pull. And you can adjust it so you don't have a crazy long tail. And you pull it tight. And then on the same nail, you're just going to do one more knot so it doesn't come loose. So use your fingers and twist, and then pull. Okay, so you just don't want it to be able to come loose. Okay, then grab the scissors. They don't come with the kit, so make sure you grab them. And I go ahead and I trim it just so it fits inside the section. You can do it after at the end too if you want, but I just kind of do it in the beginning. Okay, so that is the first step. You're just going to tie your knot. And then next, I like to sort of outline where I'm going, just keeps my brain a little less stressed. So what you're going to do is you're just going to wrap around each nail and go ahead and follow your outline of the main picture that you get. So you're going to go all the way down. So then there's just the one next to it. So we're not going to do that one. And then you're going to go up and again, and you can use your other hand to sort of hold down the string you've already put on. You want to hold it tight all the way around. And then you can count the nails. So over here, you can count that there's 1, 2, 3. Okay, so you can go 1, 2, 3. So we're going to go up to this one and then go down. 1, 2, 3. And then you continue up. And then you can do the same thing. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And that's where you know you're going to head back down to meet up. Okay, so I'm going to show you a couple little tricks just while we're here. It's easier to see with less string on, but you don't have to do it right away. You can do it whenever you want. You can create a thicker border by going on the opposite side. So you've already been doing this side the same side, but instead you're going to go crisscross and crisscross and crisscross. And you can still wrap it around to hold it, but you just crisscross it all the way around again if you want. Again, the black is going to go on top, so you don't really need to do this, but it is a good thing to learn for when you go back and want a thicker edging, especially with the black for him or the white up here on the head. Okay, then when you go around one time, you can go back the same way and crisscross on the opposite side. So it'll look like you have an X in between each set of nails, and that just makes it look filled in on the outside. But again, it's up to preference. I usually will only do this on the border and the top layers, but I figured it'd be easier to show you now. Okay, and then you can go again on the inside of the nail is another way you can do it too. Again, just making it look sort of thick and the outline pop. Okay, so you just go all the way around and around. You can use this hand to hold the string if it seems like it's coming loose. And if you pull too tight because you're super duper strong, you can always have a hammer handy, and then you just sort of tap, tap, tap for it to be back in. But there you go. So then you just do your wonderful little border, and now you know where you're going to go to fill it in. So to fill it in, there is no particular way. You just go crazy wherever you want inside this. That's the fun of it. There is no actual pattern. So from here, you just get to choose, you can see, hold it tight, wherever you want. You just go back and forth like this. And then once you get, that set full, then you can turn it slightly, to a different angle. and then just keep filling it in wherever you want to go until you think it's filled and colored in. That's what I like to tell people. It's like, it's just like coloring. It's just string instead of a pencil. But you just keep going and going as much as you like. You can go just down, crisscross wherever. And then just like when we were doing the border, where it was crisscross and an X in between each, you can do the same idea between two nails. If there's like a weird gap that you don't like, you can do a figure 8 between two nails. I use 2 fingers for the tight spots when there's more nails than one for the curves. Or like in this case, if I want to try and fill that, I can just drag it all the way up and find a nail that keeps the string right there. Hopefully that makes sense. And then I just like to keep going and going and going and going. And if you're not careful, you'll just, forget what time it is. That's what usually happens to me. I'll be stringing these while I'm watching a movie or a show, and then it'll be, 3 hours later. It's like, oh, guess I should go to bed. But it's fun. And it keeps your hands busy. I know with me, it's hard for me to sit and watch shows without doing something. I get distracted. So this keeps my hands busy, and I'm doing something fun while watching a show that I really do like. But sometimes it's just like, oh, I can't just sit there. It drives me nuts. All right, so I like how this is looking. And again, you just fill it to your preference. You don't have to fill it as much as I do, especially if you're doing this with kids. The kids usually don't want it as filled in and they're done. They just want to be done. But if that happens, you can fill it in for them, or you just take a break. If you ever wanted to take a break, if you just let go of it, see how it'll kind of stay, but it kind of comes loose a little bit. But all you got to do is put the weight of the board on top, and then it'll stay like that as long as no one messes with it. And then when you come back, and you just keep going. All right, so after you filled it in, just like in the beginning where you tied a double knot, you're going to do that again. So we're going to go ahead and do that part. Grab your scissors. And then remember, so we're going to you should have a chunk of white left over because we're still going to do his head, his hand, and then Sally's eye. Okay, so cut as much as you need for getting the knot. And then you're going to hold right here so it doesn't unravel. And then take this and try and tie it in the air. And then again, any nail, doesn't have to be any particular nail. And then you pull it tight. That's kind of wiggly. And then on the same one, just tie one more knot. Just like that. Okay, and then see how I have all that left? If you have that much left, you can again just tie it so it fits in. And then you can use this or your fingers and just sort of tuck it into the design. Just like that. And there we go. That's the first section.